Hi, my name is Jessica Chacon, and I chose Ruth Bader Ginsburg as my changemaker. I chose her as my changemaker because she is an advocate for women's rights and for gender equality. This is a quote from her that I think is an obvious choice, or to show that she's a leader. It says, "Fight for the things that you care about, but do it in a way that will lead others to join you." And then this is an overview of what I'm gonna present. It's about her early life, her advocacy for women's rights and gender equality, her accomplishments, and what type of leader she was. Alright, during her early life, she was born on March 15th, 1933 in Brooklyn, New York. She originally attended Harvard Law School, but during her senior year, she switched to Columbia, and she graduated at the top of her class in 1959. After graduation, it was hard for her to find a job because of gender discrimination. And after working as a clerk for a while, she decided that she wanted to focus on advocacy for women's rights and gender equality. She was a co-founder of the Women's Rights Project at ACLU, which is the American Civil Liberties Union, and a co-founder of the Women's Rights Law Reporter, which was the first journal about women's rights. Two cases that involved gender discrimination that she worked on was the United States versus Virginia, which was about how the Virginia Military Institute would not allow female admission. Ruth was not persuaded by them and noticed that they were violating the 14th Amendment's Equal Protection Clause, so they struck down the male-only admission. After this case, they led on to Ledbetter versus Goodyear, the tire and rubber company, which involved Miss Ledbetter being paid differently compared to her other co-workers with the same experience as her. She was rejected by the court for her appeal because it occurred outside the 180-day period. This was overturned by Ruth when she had passed the Lilly Ledbetter Fair Act of 2009 with Barack Obama. She had accomplished many things throughout her whole life, and she was the first member of the Harvard and Columbia Review. She had won the American Bar Association's Thurgood Marshall Award in 1999 for her advocacy for gender equality. She was the second female law professor at Rutgers Law School. While working there, she saw that some of her co-workers and that herself were being paid differently from her male co-workers, and the only excuse that she was given was that they had families and kids to take care of. That didn't pass well with them, so they passed a complaint known as the Equal Pay Act complaint, and they had won it. And finally, Ruth is the second female U.S. Supreme Court justice and the longest-serving Jewish justice. She served for 27 years in the court before her death on September 18, 2020. I believe Ruth's leadership style is authentic leader. She was passionate about gender equality, and she had solid values about gender discrimination and women's rights. She was open-minded and used her heart and brain to drive her leadership. She always stayed connected when fighting for gender equality and was self-disciplined and calm when she talked, because you won't win a fight by yelling. Here are my sources and questions.